Hello, everybody. Welcome to another review from the Power Bomb Project. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel, joined by my other two hosts.
It's Berman.
And Chris.
And today, we're talking about Night of Champions 2023, which was honestly just about exactly what I expected. It was a solid show, but it does not solve any of the company's problems whatsoever.
Yeah, 100%. It was a good show, but it really didn't fix the problems that they still have right now. So, true.
It was more filler, but that wasn't the only filler pay-per-view. But we recorded that one already.
So, is this the worst WWE pay-per-view of the year? No, that still goes to Royal Rumble without a doubt. But I don't know. I definitely feel like this show wasn't up to par with the recent pay-per-views, and it's in Saudi Arabia. That's the obvious reason why, but whatever. No, we're going to kick things off with the opener for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins from Raw versus AJ Styles from SmackDown. I thought it was a great match. I don't really think much else of it. They've had a better one in 2019 at Money in the Bank, but I thought this was still great. More slow for sure, but honestly, nothing wrong with that because they both did their thing, and Seth Rollins is officially the new World Heavyweight Champion. I thought this should have main evented the show, but it is what it is because I just have that personal belief of the world title going on last, but it's whatever. I'm going to give this a 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, to me, I really like this show. It was a pretty fun match. Loved it. I felt Seth Rollins was going to win, but a lot of times I thought about AJ Styles could win the whole thing too, so it was kind of a mixed bag for me. But it was still pretty fun. It was not that bad. The weird thing is they call this a main event, which it's not a main event if it's not at the end. So it's a little weird, but I think it's still a good start to show. So I think I really liked it too. So I'll give it an 8. I think.
And I'll just be it was fine for what it was. Again, like Daniel said, there were better matches between Seth and AJ in the past, but I get it, they're a little older. It was a bit slow for my taste, so I'll just give it a 7. It was decent. Nothing
the
too
video
offensive.
you're about to see.
All right. Next up, we got Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. I thought this match was solid. I didn't think it was anything too crazy. In the end, you had Zoe Starks help Trish Stratus get the win, and I assume this will lead to Becky and Lita versus Trish and Zoe. I can only assume. Yeah, I thought this was solid though. I can't really shit on it too much. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
It was fun. It's pretty cool to see Trish kind of win. I kind of predicted that she was going to win just because I felt like they were not going to let a big name lose on her second match, I would say. Maybe first, I would say. And back. So to me, I think it was fun. It was not that bad. It was okay. So I would probably give it a 7. Myself too.
And I'm in the same boat. I'm not going to give it a 7 just because it was very average for me. I'll give it a 5 just for the fact that I'm not really a big fan of Trish Stratus's like wrestling style from what I've seen for these two past pay-per-views. So it wasn't anything bad or offensive. So it's fine. So I'll give it a 5.
This next match for the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Mustafa Ali, who got a big pop. Yeah, we knew he would. It's the reason why he was picked for this shit. And he actually wasn't squashed. He was given a fair match, and I'm very happy to see that because I thought this was a banger. And Gunther still looked like a monster, but Ali was able to look like a star as well in the end in some sort of aspect. So overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 with Gunther retaining his title. And whoever he fights next, I believe it'll be Riddle. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, to me, it was a pretty fun match. It was nice to see the support for Ali, even if he did lose, but I still thought it was a good homecoming kind of for him. I think it was very fun. It's definitely I say an 8 too, definitely a banger. And I do hope that if that's the case, Gunther versus Matt Riddle, I'm hoping Riddle actually gets the win because I think it'd be fun to see him in an Intercontinental Champion. He has already United States Intercontinental, it'll be fun. So for me, it definitely 8.
And same here. I guess we're all 8s for this one because, quite frankly, I kind of wish Mustafa Ali would have got like more screen time, but unfortunately, got interrupted by the Borg thing, and it kind of didn't lead to like any believability. But he did do the promo on Twitter, which is probably like the best we're gonna get. But for the match
And Gunther
itself,
needs to still look like a monster.
I know. But at least Mustafa Ali wasn't a complete jobber in this match, and he got some pretty sick like offense too. So it was fun. But when it needed to be done, it was good, fella. I'm gonna give it 8.
Next up, we get to the Raw Women's Championship match: Bianca Belair versus Asuka. I just thought this was slightly better than average. I don't know. There was something missing in this match compared to their WrestleMania match. It's like something wasn't clicking in this match, and it's unfortunate because I thought they had an absolutely amazing match at WrestleMania, and I guess they couldn't repeat that success here. Asuka tried to use the mist to blind Bianca, but Bianca saw it coming, so she missed. So instead of attempting to do it for a second time, what she did was she blew the mist on her hand. So the mist was basically all over her hand. And then when Bianca picked Asuka up for the KOD, Bianca didn't know that Asuka had the mist in her hand. So Asuka spread that mist across Belair's face. And then she ended up kicking Belair down and knocked her out to the point where she got that pin. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, that's really what happened. Asuka wins. She dethroned Bianca, and Bianca was the longest reigning modern women's champion in WWE. Now that has come to an end thanks to Asuka. And where does Asuka go from here with this heel title reign? I have no idea. I just hope that it goes well for her, at least. That's really all I could say. I am glad Asuka won, and I did feel like it was time to take the belt off of Bianca, even though I am a huge fan of Bianca, and trust me, I'm going to want her to get the belt back eventually. I definitely will, but as of right now, I definitely think she could, I don't know, do some interesting things. I don't know, a lot of people are saying they want her to turn heel. I don't know if I really want that necessarily, but I don't know. I guess just something unique and different for Bianca would be cool, I guess. So, yeah, overall, I'm going to leave it at a 6 out of 10. Congrats to Asuka for becoming the new Raw Women's Champion and officially a Grand Slam Women's Champion, even though I believe she was one already. But this just reaffirms that fact.
Yeah, and she was 100%. She did. But to me, this was a very fun. It was not that bad of a match. It was the mist part was kind of interesting. How she put it in her hand. That's kind of interesting. So it was not that bad. And I was happy to see Asuka win because I was getting a little bit sick of Bianca, to be perfectly honest. If she wants to go anywhere, I'm actually perfectly fine if she wants to go to NXT. Maybe she goes for the title, the NXT title. So maybe she becomes the Grand Slam winner. That makes sense to how she's kind of being right now. So maybe she wants to be a Grand Slam winner too. It would be not that bad, but I don't know. They would do that. But to me, this was a pretty good match. I would give this a 6.
And I'm in the same boat. I'll increase my score because originally I gave it a 5, but it's not that it's a bad match. Just me personally, I kind of thought the ending was a bit anticlimactic. I mean, you had a pretty solid good end when things started to finally get cooking. You know, it was smart of Asuka to spray that thing in her hand or whatever to wipe her eye, but it just kind of looked like out of place and kind of rushed. And plus, the crowd was like really dead for like all the women's matches. So for what it is, I'll just give it a 5. They had better, but glad Asuka won.
Now, we get to, in my opinion, what is probably one of the most iconic things I've ever seen in wrestling. SmackDown Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. This is on Natalya's birthday, by the way. And before the bell rang, Natalya would get distracted by Dom. Rhea would attack Natalya from behind. Then she did a couple moves on her, hit the Riptide. 1, 2, 3. She beat Natalya on her birthday in 69 seconds.
Nice.
Let me repeat that. She beat Natalya on her birthday in 69 seconds. WWE. Here, hold on. Let me do this. Absolutely brilliant. That is exactly what should have happened at WrestleMania 39. That is exactly what Rhea versus Charlotte should have been. This was perfect. This made Rhea look like an absolute beast that no one can conquer. And that's exactly what Charlotte should have done for Rhea. No rating, but this was fantastic. This was the best booking you could have possibly ever done for this.
Yeah, it's messed up too because Natalya's great, but it shows how Rhea Ripley is dominant. So there's no rating, but it was a good choice for them to do this for Rhea Ripley. So that's all I said.
She did it for Dom. That's why because she became so powerful. I did it for The Rock. That's all I gotta say.
You don't really care to add anything on?
No, because it's just a squash match.
I will say it's booking perfection. That's all I'll say. It's booking perfection. Now we get to Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar 2. I did not like their first match at all. None of us were impressed for that matter. However, I did have a lot of fun with this match. And the fact that it was less than 10 minutes and they did everything they did in less than 10 minutes just once again proves all the people who say this match needs half an hour, this match needs 40 minutes. Wrong. Matches like this prove people wrong. That timing doesn't mean everything. It's about the time you're given and what you use with the time you're given. And thankfully, this was a very damn good match and a very fun match. And yes, a lot of people were complaining that Cody Rhodes survived way too damn long in the Kimura lock and it made him look like Superman. And I can kind of agree, it was a bit ridiculous. But Cody did eventually lose. So at least it made me go like, all right. Because if he went through like 5 minutes of a Kimura lock and still somehow won, then all right, yeah, I would have definitely fucking shat all over that. But Cody did eventually go down. Brock got the W. They're going to settle this at SummerSlam. It looks like Cody's story isn't being completed at SummerSlam. With everything the way it's going, I'm very confident that Jey Uso will be the one. But we'll get to that later. So overall, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, for me, it was a pretty fun match. I was kind of like the Kimura lock, just because it's always brutal when I see that so brutally, that how he was inside there for so long. And I was expecting, because I just feel like they're not gonna let Lesnar lose twice in a row. I just felt like that too. So to me, this match was very fun to me, and I hope in SummerSlam it's gonna be a street fight match or something with like more weapons and stuff. I think that'd be fun to see, more like a stipulation match, more like a steel cage or it's like false count anywhere, street fight, something fun like that. So definitely an 8 for me too.
And same here. And I think what made this match so good is just because it was just downright silly and it was fun. Like, it was kind of funny seeing Cody Rhodes use his like little broken arm. His bandages as a weapon was pretty goofy. And it's just stupid stuff like that. Bork is really good when it comes to stipulation matches, but when it comes to just like regular stuff, it's kind of like meh. So as long as they book it good, I had no problems with this one, and hopefully continue the feud. And it ends at SummerSlam and let Cody push to the moon. So I liked it. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Now, we get to the main event. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa. Well, I'll say this. I don't like that this match was booked. I think it was kind of pointless. Even after everything that's happened, I still kind of believe that, to a sense. But the match was undeniably amazing. You got 4 performers who know what they're doing. Of course it's going to be an amazing match. So the drama was on point, all that stuff. It was a good old bloodline epic. And that's when the ending happened. Basically, the ref was taken out, and the Usos came to attack Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And when they were about to do a double super kick, they accidentally super kicked Solo. So Roman is enraged, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And, he shoves Jimmy and Jay, but then Roman turns around and Jimmy super kicked Roman. And basically, Jay is like, what the hell are you doing, Jimmy? And Jimmy's like, I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago. I got you. And super kicks Roman again to knock him out. And they both leave, which just leaves their younger brother Solo to get absolutely destroyed 2-on-1 by KO and Sami. Stunner, and then the haluva kick. Sami pins Solo 1, 2, 3. and still. So that's what I'll say. It was an amazing match. But where do we go from here? Well, Jimmy just betrayed Roman. The plan, main event, well, we don't know if it's going to main event, but it likely will because it features Roman. Money in the Bank, Roman's match will likely be Roman and Solo versus the Usos. I think Jimmy is going to be the sacrificial lamb in all of this. Whenever he gets destroyed by Roman, that's going to be Jay's wake-up call. And then SummerSlam, one more time, Roman versus Jay. It looks pretty damn obvious to me that's where it's all headed. And I'm fucking excited for that. So overall, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I hope Jay is the one to dethrone Roman at SummerSlam.
Yeah, so first, this was a very great match. The ending was the perfect setup to everything. It's pretty much how we say it's a house of cards coming down. It was a great setup to everyone waiting. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? This is run, and I loved it. And the betrayal was just one of the perfect moments to see. And I just love it. I think it was at the end of the match. Sami was yelling at Roman saying, "You did this. You're never going to have my titles, and now you broke your family up." It was all because of Roman's fault, and it was very great. And storytelling and everything. I really loved it. And I'm happy. I'm super happy to see that Jay will take that title. It'll be great to see him finally get a singles title for himself. To me, that would be awesome to see. For me, so definitely a 9 for me.
Honestly, booking wise, it was pretty damn solid. I mean, I understand you can't have like Jay immediately go after Roman because you need to build it up towards the pay-per-view, but for right now the choice is somewhat correct. So hopefully when what's his name? Jimmy, right? The guy that finally hit the super kick on Roman?
Yeah,
Jimmy,
I think the plan is Roman and Solo versus the Usos. That's Money in the Bank. I don't think they're doing Roman versus Jimmy. I think Jimmy is a sacrificial lamb for Roman versus Jay again.
Yeah. But eventually, for what it is, it's gonna be a good stepping stone for him. So I'm excited for the future. It was a good, solid match. Gonna be tonight.
Like, let's be honest here. If Cody isn't finishing the story at SummerSlam, he's fighting Brock. Should Jay just beat Roman at SummerSlam and end it all there?
yes.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
And
But as you were saying,
one thing I would love to see, and it's definitely probably going to happen, I kind of hope to see maybe Sami and Kevin helping Jay win. Or like do something to kind of help him out. Because I think mainly Sami loves to help Jay because he respects him more than anyone else. So we'd love to see when Jay versus Roman happen again, Sami and Kevin helps him out to take that title away from Roman. That would be fun to see.
And you know what else is an interesting parallel about tomorrow, which is SmackDown? Yeah. Tomorrow is Roman Reigns' 1,000 day celebration as champion. But guess what? It's the 9-year anniversary of the Shield breakup, where he got betrayed by Seth. So I guarantee the celebration is just going to be one giant mental breakdown.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to be doing some an homage to it? Maybe Jimmy hitting Roman in the back of the chair?
I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go from here. I do think that Jimmy will get a lot of the spotlight heading into Money in the Bank because he's the one who betrayed Roman. And again, I think that spotlight will go back to Jay after Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
But for the build, I think it's going to be more of a Roman Jimmy build than anything else.
Well, if they set it up right and they do it against Jay after that, do they do Jay? That's perfectly fine.
Exactly. And then, even if Jay is like a transitional champ, it's like, who cares? He has the bump of beating Roman and dethroning the 1,000 day plus champ.
And no one has got that bump.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think it would be I think it's the best conclusion. I think it's the ultimate conclusion to this Bloodline story. I don't think there's a better one than that. So, yeah, that's all. We'll leave it at, folks. Hopefully, WWE end this right. they basically have it all in the palm of their hand at this point. So hopefully they just get this right. Thank you all so much for watching. Oh yeah, wait, the show rating. I'll rate this son of a bitch a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, me too. A 7 for me.
And I'm a rebel, so I'm gonna give it a 6. Frick you guys.
Fair enough. Oh, all right, not fair enough. Frick you too. All right, thank you all so much for watching. I've been Daniel.
I've been Berman.
I've been Chris.
And see you all in the next one. Take it easy.